Hello, welcome to the channel. GOYOJO Tools sent me a product for the testing. This is a thermal camera GW340 and I got this box for free, but there is no additional payment from their side. But this video and actually the whole channel is sponsored by Polymaker and by my Patreon supporters. About this product. First, in the title they mentioned the resolution of 512 by 384 pixels, but later they mentioned a smaller resolution. And I asked the company what is the situation, and they told me the native resolution is 256 by 192, and AI-based super resolution processing is scaling this up to this bigger resolution. And on the website they mentioned this is for the iPhone and Android. Now on the box it is mentioned only that this is especially made for the iPhone, and I was worried here because I don't have iPhone, I have Android phones. My two oldest daughters, they have the iPads, but the company told me that everything is fine with the product, only the packaging is old. That product is able to work with both operation systems. Low consumption and no batteries are needed because it will be connected to the smartphone, and it is plug and play, and it has USB Type-C plug. I'm not sure I will see if there is any other adapter included in the package. And it can work in two measurement modes. One is between -20 and plus 150 degrees Celsius, and the other is between 100 and 400 degrees Celsius. And it has picture-in-picture mode where we can see both thermal camera view and regular camera. And the price is approximately $200. Let's see what's in the box. We have a nice case. This is the camera Type-C plug, and we have the adapter Type-C on one side and lightning on the other, and the user manual. So this is GW340. Oh, okay. I don't really know what was this for. I thought there would be some protection foil on it. Okay. Of course, I don't need this adapter, and I think the newest iPhones, at least here in Europe, are equipped with the Type-C plug. The user manual is in 7 languages, and for each language we have 4 pages. Maybe just my opinion, but I think this storage case doesn't have to be so big. I mean, look at this. And I think I will create one with the 3D printing much smaller. I'm starting with the installation of the application THG Start. Open. We have some instructions. I know, let's see if it is really plug and play. Already works. Okay, really plug and play. Just quickly to check the app, most interesting functions, picture-in-picture, because we can see the picture from the thermal camera and from the real camera. But unfortunately, when I record the video, this is not recorded, only the picture or the video from the thermal camera. Here we can turn off the alter calibration or trigger one, rotate the screen 90 degrees, and then measurement points. Currently it's only the hottest point, but I can enable the coldest and what is the temperature in the center. Then we can see these numbers here. Palettes, different scale palettes for this temperature range. I will play with this a little bit later. I know maybe what is here important. Yes, emissivity, because for the correct usage it is very important to set this for the proper surface, because different surfaces, different emissivity settings needs to be applied. Now, unfortunately, this is something what I'm missing in this user manual. Not everybody is familiar with this. The default, I can see 0.97, works fine with the many surfaces, but sometimes it still needs some adjusting. Temperature range, and this is already mentioned, 2 modes. First level -20 and plus 150 degrees Celsius, which I will use most of the time, and the second level between 100 and 400 degrees Celsius. And for the users in the USA, maybe this is interesting too, temperature unit, so you can switch between degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit, and even Kelvin. Let's see it in action. I already checked earlier the heated bed on H2S, and the initial heating, we can clearly see the heater below. And this is how it looks like after approximately 5-6 minutes. That's why if I print small objects or supports, I like to set 5 degrees Celsius higher bed temperature. And now let's check the heated bed on Prusa Mark IV. I will set the temperature to 60 degrees Celsius. This is speed up video of initial heating, more equally spread. And this is the picture after 5 minutes, when actually the printing would even start. And we can see approximately 5 degrees Celsius the dilatation between cold and hot spots. Those cold spots are above the screws. It will be more equal after 10 or 15 minutes, but as I mentioned, at this point the printing would even start. And what can we see from bigger distance? We can check the thermal insulation of buildings, or which car was parked a few minutes ago. Heating pipes in our flat are going into this floor, and we can clearly see them. And actually this method I used when I created some kind of pipe map for our flat. When I arrive home, my kids cannot deny anymore that they were watching TV or tablet a few minutes ago instead of doing homework. I noticed that with this method we can see which car was in use not only a few minutes, but also half hours ago. Imagine how useful this tool would be to Antonio Banderas in that movie. And one more example with the pipes. Some of them have thermal insulation, and we can see that it works good. And we can check how good is the sealing on the window. Of course from outside it will be better, but I was lazy to go outside in this cold weather. And I noticed quality of the pictures is better than recorded video, but I will talk about that later. Me personally, I like this kind of thermal cameras attached to the smartphones, more compared to those dedicated thermal cameras. But in this case, they depend a lot from the smartphone and from the application. And I think this application is a little bit weak point of this product. For example, quality of the picture is quite acceptable, but quality of recorded video is quite low compared to that live preview which I can see on the screen. So this means that recorded video has too big compression. And it will be good to have an option to reduce that compression to have better quality recorded video. Another thing, picture-in-picture. Great feature, and actually this was one of the main reasons why I accepted the review of this camera. I thought it would be good for the documentation to have the thermal camera and a small corner live camera recorded together. But the problem is that this picture-in-picture is available only in live preview. But recorded video can have only one picture from the thermal camera. But in a live preview, I mean, if I'm recording something, I can see what I'm recording, so there I don't really need picture-in-picture feature. And small correction, if I'm using picture-in-picture and record the camera only, it will record both the thermal camera and the regular camera view. But if I record the video, in that case, only the thermal camera video is recorded. And another thing, maybe it's only me, but I'm missing the recorded audio. It's good for the documentation. I'm recording something and I'm talking what I'm recording, so later it is very useful not only for the YouTube videos but for the documentation. But in this case it don't record audio. I know maybe this is not so important for most of the users, but for me, yes, I'm missing this. Okay, so this was my experience with this small thermal camera, still quite a decent product. And just for curiosity, if you have any thermal camera, for what are you using it for? Leave me feelings down in the comment section. Well, thank you for watching this video until the end, and see you in my next one. Bye.